What's the T? Girl, girl, girl.
Hey girl.
Snatch.
Sickening.
Party.
Kiki.
Slay.
Punishing.
Hey, sis.
Miss Thing.
Viva Ramos.
Trade.
Kids and Kittens.
Yes, queen.
Yes, queen.
Choices.
Okay, bitch, you're fierce. Look at you, go girl.
Girl, what's the T? Oh, no, ma'am, Pam. Blah, 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 blah.
She was born out of a dare, and I quickly thought that it was just going to be a one shot.
My name is Shannon Dupree. I am in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm a show director at Hamburger Mary's here in Milwaukee.
My name is Rex, aka the Anorexia Lords. Where I'm from is a hard question because I've lived everywhere, but I was born in Vegas and grew up in Houston, Texas. And then I've lived coast to coast after that. And I'm currently in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I'm Patti O'Furniture, and I have been performing for 21 years as of this past October. And I'm based in South Carolina. Technically, I sort of am a wandering queen, but most people associate me with Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, hello. My name is Anita Rose. I am years old. I am a Gemini, and I am from Palm Springs, California. I've been performing out here for 6 years, and I just celebrated my 5 years of moving out here. Honey, baby. That's another one too. That's just kind of like in a little accent.
A drag queen loves the word bitch.
Like, bitch, you're turning it. You know, it's like, you're sickening.
Being fish used to be like passive a woman.
Well, sickening and punishing is like when you're doing such a fabulous job, you know, you're doing a good job, you know, it's like you snap your finger, you're like, oh, that's sickening, you're punishing.
Kiki also means like we're gonna sit down and like spill some tea, sit there, gossip, just chat it up.
Shablam. And there's a word that I've asked, and even Urban Dictionary is not clear on exactly. It's like, is the noise you make when you hit the floor. Like shablam.
You know, this is my best Judy, or this is my girl.
Ooh, this is one of my good Judys, which a good Judy means a good friend.
Like my best Judy is, you know, this whole thing about Judy Garland and how, you know, I was even on a cruise and they would have meetups of friends of Dorothy. I was like, what's that mean? And people were like, oh, that's the gay club that you would go and meet up with gay people. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, a bunch of people use reading, which means to like look at something, point it out, make fun of it.
And trade is all about the men, the boys that's on the down low.
It's like, you know, that mug is beat.
You're beating your face.
I love when I say that on stage and I see the shock in, you know, a middle-aged straight woman's face. She's like, did someone hurt you? It's like, oh girl, no. This is your mug, like a mug shot, and it's been beat. Like you pounded that makeup onto your face.
Another thing that's very common with the drag queens is, girl, you look awful in that. You don't need that. Which basically means, what you have, I want it. How can I get it from you?
Do I need to explain what tuck is to you too, ma'am? Okay, we're good here. All right. Category is executive realness. Okay, what does that mean? Well, if you went to the ball, you'd know what it meant.
I'm like, girl, do you not know your history?
You know, you have the Vietnam War, you have the racial inequality that was coming to a head after the assassination of Dr. King and Bobby Kennedy. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all, you also have mixed in there Stonewall. And who led the fight at Stonewall? It was drag queens of color.
Before Drag Race, it was pageants. Pageants were the way of being known.
Yeah, I'm often asked, what is drag? And I've always thought of drag, I'm a theater person, so to me, drag comes from the Shakespearean stage direction of dress resembling a girl.
Traditionally, you were a man transforming yourself into a woman. And so you were, to keep that illusion up, you changed your vocabulary, you changed the way you speak to people, because you're selling them the illusion that you're female, right?
The way that queens will often refer to one another in the feminine, it's a hey girl or miss thing. There's the exaggerated feminization of it.
Kind of this opposite of hyper masculinity, kind of bringing a way of bringing, I guess, queerness to our conversation and separating ourselves.
Yeah, she looks fish, which also, that term, I believe, came from the ballroom scene.
The ball culture, yes. Houses, yes.
A lot of lingo actually does come from the Black community, the ballroom scene.
These are phrases that have been around for decades. I mean, within the ball culture, which of course primarily was marginalized communities, marginalized cultures and ethnicities within the gay and lesbian community.
Like when Silky Ganache did the attitude check, on RuPaul's Drag Race, that's very old. That's from like my era, and everybody was like, well, that's not new.
Every subculture has to create their own terminology, and Sissy That Walk is not just a RuPaul song. Calling categories is not something that it just happens at the finale of every episode of Drag Race.
I tell the young kids, to always look and listen. You'll learn whatever you can know, because people tell themselves all the time, if you just look and listen to people's mannerisms or the way they talk, act, whatever, you'll learn them in a minute.
I am enjoying the fact that as I see drag queens start using more of the classic terminology, that they are at least acknowledging where it comes from.
And then you start saying it, and the people around you start saying it. So I don't think it's anything that's done on purpose. It's just kind of like, it is.
And I said, B, I want nothing more for my birthday than for you to read me for filth. And so it's one of those things that I don't even realize I do.
My life is so intertwined with drag in my day-to-day life. And I've built this kind of situation in my life where I don't have to hide those things mutually most of the time.
They're so embedded in my psyche.
I have the community in which I live. I have the friends in which I surround myself with. But at the same token, if I'm talking to somebody who I don't know and I use these terms, it's kind of like a secret handshake in a way.
It's like we have on the secret, which
when you understand the lingo and you say it and outside people don't necessarily get it, it's fun to just kind of be like, when someone goes, what do you mean party? What do you mean party? Do you mean I have to explain? And it's kind of fun to explain it too.
I don't even think about it, because when I call my best friend, I'm like, hey, let's go kiki. Like, okay, cool.
I hate to say this. I'm Guyanese, it's just like, instead of, we're not talking Portuguese, we're talking Guyanese.
It's kind of one of those signs of like, oh, she understands the lingo, so let's sit here and have kiki or a conversation.
So the real conversations happen in the dressing room.
It's fun backstage. It makes it, especially backstage, it makes it so much more fun.
The craziest things happen in a dressing room, but it's also because that's where queens can be themselves. And that's where we're making the transformation. Some are sitting with their face in the mirror, working on that last lash, while others have gotten ready 3 hours ahead of time so they can stand in the dressing room with a drink in their hand and talk trash to the rest of us.
It definitely helps to learn lingo, because then when you're talking, it's kind of like these fun catchphrases almost. So the more and more you know them and the more you know how to use them, the more included you feel. When
you have a relationship with another entertainer and you can say those snarky comments, it just adds a layer of fun. It's a connection.
But it does. It really does kind of connect connect me with those other, those people, those like-minded people that, I perform with or hang out with.
You feel like you have arrived because you get to interact with those individuals in their own language.
One overarching thing that I've noticed a lot, especially in the past few years, is our attempt to take back a lot of words.
The gay community has definitely built their own code or lingo, especially because even like way back in the day, there was a lot of hiding.
I have a great friend in Georgia, and Jen performs. Jen is a trans woman who performs as a drag queen named Coco, and she loves using the word tranny. She says, that word was demonized, and then certain parts of the community wanted it expunged. And she was like, no, I want to take it back in the same way that gay men, feel they can take back the term faggot.
When I moved down here, words like tranny and those types of things are still used here.
We can use it. We want to give it power. You can't use it because you use it as a derogatory.
We are reclaiming what's ours, and not only just our community, but many others. But I do think that because things are progressing forward, that we are able to take that back and enjoy things like the lingo.
It helps give our community something to use to celebrate our uniqueness.
Slang terms, again, help me be a part of something and set me apart from everyday world.
It's just a fun way of communicating.
Not only in the drag community, but I think outside of the community, it also kind of brings all of us together.
Drag has become the face of gay culture.
Drag has gone really mainstream.
I actually think it's a good thing. Again, because now we don't have to live in fear about what we're doing.
For me, it's a good thing because it's bringing attention to us. It's not we're less likely to be ostracized or to be condemned or to be threatened anymore.
For the Drag Race, I'm so happy that it has become mainstream, because then we have shows like Dragula that feature the alternative, the scary, the crazy side of drag. And then also, which helped bring out Camp Wanakiki, which is also another extreme of drag, which is all campy drag. And then we've also had pageants. So that's also put pageants on the forefront and brought having pageant queens and having different styles of queens on RuPaul's Drag Race has helped highlight many different sections of drag. So I am extremely happy and thankful.
We're becoming more accepted, and accepting for being us, being authentic to ourselves.
You're starting to hear straight women and again, other heterosexual people talking in these ways because they are watching shows like Drag Race.
I feel like language is constantly adopted and adapted and evolved within each community.
It's going to eventually evolve. It's going to evolve to something bigger and better.
Do we need them in the way that we used to? No, that's what I would say. Do we still need them? Yes, because it still is a part of our heritage and our culture, and it still gives us our identity.
I think that more communities will start using more of other people's way of talking, and I also think it will also open up ways of thinking.
Yes, we want equality, we want, to be able to hold hands down the street, but all that good stuff. But at the same token, we still need our gay bars. Like, we still need something that is ours, that's a sanctuary for us.
We might change what the words are, but we will always have a lingo. Every community will always have their specific lingo. It can change over time, but it will always be there.
It's just so expressive and so much fun to be, free and to live your life.
If we're going to continue to embrace more and more labels, then I hope the people who choose to use those labels will maintain some language, some slang, something that is unique to them.
We're here. We're queer. Get used to it. Live your life to the fullest because you're not promised tomorrow, for one. And just to have fun, enjoy it, enjoy the ride. You know, you given one life, live it.